In the opening monologue of one of my favorite movies of all time, Annie Hall, Woody Allen looks into the camera and he addresses the audience, and he says to the audience a couple of classic Jewish jokes. And one of those jokes is the following. There are two women sitting at a Catskill Mountain ski resort. One woman turns to the other and says, "Wow, the food here is really horrible." And the other woman turns to her and says, "I know, in such small portions." Now, Woody Allen uses this joke to go a step further and to say that this is his philosophy about life, that it's divided into the horrible and the miserable, and that it's all over way too quickly. Now, as Jews, we can appreciate this humor. We think it's funny, it's very self-deprecating, and it's very philosophical in its nature. But our tradition also demands that we look at this joke a little bit differently. Our tradition understands that there are challenges in life, that sometimes life is painful, that sometimes we don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning, that sometimes seizing the day is the last thing we want to do, that sometimes it really does feel like the food is awful and the portions are small. But our tradition demands that we also look at one extra piece, and we say no matter what the food tastes like, and no matter how small those portions, the most important thing isn't the food itself, but it's that the company we keep is really wonderful. So if we were to tell this story again based on our tradition, this joke again, from the context of our tradition, we would say, the food here is really horrible. The other woman says, "Yeah, in such small portions, but it's so wonderful that we get to be here and share it together." That's really the nature of our tradition. It's the nature of our humor, it's the nature of our religion, it's the nature of our peoplehood. That whenever there's suffering, whenever there's challenges that we face them together. In our parashat this week, Parashat Balak, we have the ultimate parashat of curses and blessings. The king Balak sends a prophet, Balaam, to curse the Israelites. And instead of issuing curses, God fills his mouth with blessings. Balaam looks over from the cliffs and sees the camps of the Israelites, and instead of issuing curses from his mouth, what he says is, "Ma tovu, o halecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael." How goodly are your tents, of Jacob. How wonderful are your dwellings, you people of Israel. And this has become a blessing that we say every single morning. It's traditional for a religious Jew to wake up and to say words of thanks, words of appreciation, and then when entering the synagogue, when entering a prayer space, when entering a house of study, to say these very words. How lovely are your dwellings, people of Jacob, your sanctuaries, descendants of Israel. Ma tovu, o halecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. And I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about how we can frame our mind with a little bit of a song, with a little bit of music that comes with this. And this is a song that we teach all of our religious school students. And it might seem a little childish in its nature and its tune, but it's a beautiful way to attune ourselves to the beginning of our day. So with these very words, if you have a Siddur with you, or on page 1 in the red Sim Shalom, and page 61 in the blue Sim Shalom. And the words are directly the words from our parasha, Ma tovu, o halecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. And the tune goes like this. Ma tovu, o halecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu, o halecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. So as we enter Shabbat this week, it is my blessing to you that every day is filled with blessings. That even when there are times of challenge, even when there is days that seem like they're cursed, that the food may seem bad, the portions may seem small, that we can look at our lives, we can look at those surrounding us, our friends, our family, our community, and we can say the company is really wonderful. So from Meredith and I, from our families to your families, we wish you a Shabbat Shalom. May it be filled with peace, may it be filled with rest, and may it be filled with blessings. Shabbat Shalom.